people, how are we today? Welcome back into the greenhouse. If we haven't met already, I am Sam. I'm your plant collector in Melbourne. And today's video, I've been wanting to do this video for a very long time because I have been needing to propagate all of the jewel orchids that have been in the BioDome. For those of you that have not seen that video, I did a video over 6 months ago doing a BioDome and kind of scaping it, putting jewel orchids, putting some crystals. So I did that last year, August. Now it is March. It has been over 6 months. I also did a update video, which was done like several months after that to see how it was all going. And now we have the 6 months of what has happened. Now, let's just say there has been a ton of growth, and that is why we are also propagating today. Here she is. Let me go get her. She real heavy. I have done nothing for this orb for 6 months. I think I may have watered it maybe twice, and that's about it. So having a biodome or like a terrarium is just so low maintenance, and honestly I haven't done much. I haven't even fertilized. I don't even open the biodome. So this has been situated in mum and dad's place, just in a place near the window, but I think it is south facing. Regardless, it doesn't get much sunlight at all, so all of the light is very indirect and quite low, and so I decided to do that because the jewel orchids that were coming out weren't coming out as dark and vibrant. They're coming a little bit like paler, lighter, so I thought they were getting too much sun. So let's open her up. I have been looking at her for over the 6 months, and she has grown so much, but I haven't actually opened it. Get you a good view. I'm pretty sure that is the front there, so you can already see it's very highly condensated. We've got some plants already touching the sides. This one is truly needing a chop because it is touching as well as that one. Wow. So this one has really grown the most. So that is a Lucidia discolor, and she's even got a new leaf coming there, but I reckon it was about half the size 6 months ago, as well as this one here. So this one is beautiful. I think all of the like deeper, darker jewel orchids did a lot better in comparison to the other one. So that one there. And just taking a look at it now, which I had already known by just looking into the biodome, we've got a lot of dead leaves, molding leaves, symptoms of overwatering. That is not a surprise because I honestly didn't open up the biodome ever. So in the 6 months, I never opened it up. I never got to air it out, which means that there was a lot of water and a lot of condensation that was kind of just like circulating. The dome itself has a little bit of a hole at the top. That's how the condensation and the water was kind of evaporating into the air. But I still think that it created such a humid environment and it had nowhere to go. So I have lots of dead leaves. That's 1, 2, 3. And the reason why I know that these are all symptoms of overwatering is because it's all of the lower leaves, and not necessarily like the new growth points. It's a lot lower. We've got some dead leaves here. But overall, the plants look really healthy. So I'm really glad. So it also looks like some of them kind of separated, and like this one here, this has like 4 different growth points, which is just amazing. So that one is looking really happy with a lot of new growth. Super pleased with that. The Sanderiana is looking like it hasn't done, oh wow. Okay, I totally lied. So it looks like the Sanderiana here has multiplied into another one just there. I thought it didn't do anything, but it's got a new leaf there. Oh, okay, I'm happy with that. Some things haven't really taken. Like I had a Goodyear something, and that looked like it has died and rotted away. But you know what? Everything else looks really and truly happy. So yay! Lots and lots of new growth, lots and lots of new pups. So we're going to do a bit of propagating with this thing as well. Oh my goodness, and look at that. This one is actually flowering. I'm not sure if you can see that little bud just there. So I think I'm going to start with this one, and I think I'm going to do a tip cutting here. So we've got 1, 2 nodes here. I'm going to cut just here. there is the node just there, and that's where hopefully some roots will grow. So that is 1, 2, 3. Don't know what species this is, but regardless, it's so deep, dark, beautiful, and it has like gold veins that are sparkly. So this is definitely one of my faves. I wonder if I'll be putting it into water or into sphagnum. I haven't really decided, but we've got 3 of those. So I just chopped off the Sanderiana just there, and it's got a little bit of a root as well. So normally I like to have about 1 to 2 leaves, maybe 3 if I'm feeling a little bit risky, but this one has 4, but it already has a root happening, so that's why I'm not too scared. I just broke off that little Macody's petola there. Totally forgot about this guy just there. Looks like it's done really well. It doesn't look like it has grown a lot, but it's still looking quite young, so I think I'm going to leave that one. And I'm just going to chop up this discolor because I might chop up the Lucidia discolor a little bit more because these things grow so fast. I can very much say that they are really loving it in there. The only one that didn't really make it was the Goodyear reticulata that was in the back near the crystal. Well and truly gone. It will remain a mystery. Can't even find its rotten remains. Cute! So it's kind of looking like it was about 6 months ago. So what are my thoughts? Essentially, I think that this will be my last review of the BioDome. And the BioDome itself, aesthetically pleasing. It's beautiful. I love that it has the hole at the top so that you don't really need to be opening and closing it all the time. Unlike an enclosed terrarium where you kind of have to circulate the air or make sure that you're opening it so often. If I could go back in time and tell myself what I would do differently is that I would definitely be opening up the BioDome at least once a month. It'll make sure that not too much water is sitting in the sphagnum moss. I actually really love the media being sphagnum moss and having those clay balls at the bottom. So just increasing that humidity, the water had kind of a reservoir to kind of sit in, and the sphagnum would just kind of take it up as it was going. So I think that worked really, really well. The sphagnum isn't super beautiful pleasing, but I still think that it's a good contrast in comparison to if I had the green moss. I think everything would kind of just get lost in the color because a lot of it is green. I probably will give it a feed now. If you're wondering what I feed all of my plants with, it is Growth Tech Foliage Focus. So I'm just going to use a very weak dilution of this in the water. So what I like to do, I'm going to use about 5 milliliters of this into a 1 liter. And I'll just suck about 5 milliliters of that. And I personally love using the little syringes because they make me feel like a scientist. 5 milliliters going into a liter of that, and then I'm going to just give it a little bit of a feed, and I'll put her back in her spot for her to thrive again and grow really, really big until I can prop and chop again. So these guys I will probably just pop in sphagnum, and I'm actually going to gift one of these little guys to a friend, Moshi. It'll be his housewarming gift, so I'm very excited to put that in a little terrarium for him. And then I have all of these ones. What I'm going to do is I've decided I'm going to put it in water and use this CCS Clonex solution for propagating. I have in here just a glass of normal water. Actually, this is from the tank, so it's rainwater. There. Put a little bit more water so that all the nodes are touching the water. And these guys right here I shall be putting into moss. Thank you so much for hanging out in the greenhouse with me once again, and thank you to everyone that has been following the journey of this Jewel Orchid BioDome. I think it has been really fun, from going to creating it and scaping it to seeing its growth and now propagating it. So it has been quite a journey. Do I think it's worth the money? Yes and no. It's more of a home statement piece rather than a propagation or terrarium for growing per se. But I do really love the results because everything grew fantastically. Yes, Sam did a big boo-boo and did not open up the terrarium for 6 months. But regardless, there is still really great growth. So I am really and truly pleased with it. So I will see you guys in my next video next week. Bye! Mwah.